Hey guys, on this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Indiana Jones book, Indiana Jones and the Dinosaur Eggs. This was written by Max McCoy and came out way back in 1996. I just went through this book and I loved it. It was definitely one of the best Indiana Jones books. Like I said, I believe on my last book review, Indiana Jones and the Philosopher's Stone, I wish Max McCoy had written 20 Indiana Jones books. I mean, this guy gets it, and he's a very good writer, very entertaining. I just flew through this book. Very fun, very easy to read, and just really good. I mean, I think I like The Philosopher's Stone more overall, but this book was very entertaining. Basically, the book starts off, I guess, as a couple of months after the Philosopher's Stone ending, and Indiana Jones is still trying to get his hands on the Crystal Skull, and he runs into a certain Renee Belloc, and yeah, the prologue was pretty entertaining, and but then Indiana Jones ends up back at his college, and I think it was a nun showed up with a horn of some type. They all thought it must have been a rhinoceros's horn, but it actually turned out to be a triceratops's horn. And they are like, okay, well, this must be a fossil. But then Indy's like, no, this actually looks like this came from a live animal. So they took it down to the lab, and yeah, it came from a living animal. The scientists were like, what the fuck? Because Triceratops went extinct, millions and millions of years ago. So they're like, okay, where did this come from? And the nun said that her father, who was out in the Gobi Desert looking for dinosaur fossils, found it. So basically, Indiana Jones has to take this nun and go to the Gobi Desert in Mongolia in 1933. So, yeah. Um, it's just very exciting, very adventure filled, and it's pretty cool going across China at this time because the second Sino-Japanese war is going on. Basically, Japan is invading China and taking bit by bit, basically. And I think we're in Shanghai, and Indiana Jones runs into Wuhan for the first time, even though in Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, that was kind of supposed to be the first time that they met, but that was in 1934, 35, I think, but this is 33. So I guess you could say this was the first time they actually met. And India actually meets Lao Che for the first time, too. So very cool, very cool. And yeah, it's just action packed and very exciting. And, the only thing I would say that keeps this book from being better than The Philosopher's Stone is that it's kind of up and down. Like, there's a couple of boring parts, like a lot of exciting parts, but then some, kind of comes down a bit. But that makes sense because, hello, we're going across the desert. Not much is going to be happening all the time. So that makes sense, and it's just the nature of the story. And but eventually shit gets crazy. Like, I would say this might have the most evil villain that Indiana Jones ever comes across. Like, even more evil than Hitler or, anybody really. General Z, I believe. Yeah, he's basically well, all the native Mongolians and stuff talk about him, eating people's hearts and shit, and you're kind of like, probably an exaggeration. Until Indiana Jones gets captured by General Z, and basically, I guess they don't have a pen or a marker, so they actually pull out knives and just carve these slight cuts into Indiana Jones's body, like all over the place. And he realizes, oh, they're just marking out the pieces of meat that they're going to be cutting out of me. So yeah, it turns out that General Z and his soldiers are cannibals, and yipe. Yeah. I mean, that's a very crazy scene. I kind of feel like Max McCoy pulled away a bit because that scene could have been a lot creepier and a lot darker. But I think he realized, hey, this is an Indiana Jones book. It's not supposed to be too violent, too scary, too horrifying. Just yeah, let's kind of just breeze through this even though it's totally a scene out of Hostel or something. I feel like, a different writer, maybe like Ian Fleming. I mean, that he would have made that scene a lot scarier and crazier. But yeah, it was, crazy. And along the way, Indiana Jones befriends a dog he calls Loki, and that was nice. And yeah, I mean, just tons of stuff happens. I don't want to give the entire book away, but yeah, definitely check this book out. I mean, it's great. I loved it, and it's very entertaining. And like I said, Max McCoy gets it. He understands the character, understands the time. I mean, he's a very knowledgeable guy. Like all of the things he's talking about in the book, he's referencing Roy Chapman Andrews. He even references Joseph Campbell, and just talking about the vehicles, the weapons. I mean, he gets it all and knows it all. So, yeah, he's a very knowledgeable writer. So I really enjoy that. It really helps put you in that time and place too. Like, because when they mentioned Joseph Campbell, I was like, that name sounds familiar. Let me Google it. Oh, that guy. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it was very cool, man. And yeah, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, definitely check this out. And yeah, just read all of the Max McCoy books. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. I think it's Indiana Jones and the Hollow Earth, not to be confused with the Rob McGregor book, Indiana Jones and the Internal Earth or something, Internal World or something. Yeah, I remember that one. That was a weird one, McGregor. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Hollow Earth, and yeah, I mean, I just love these Max McCoy ones. Unfortunately, I think there's only 2 or 3 more left, but I will enjoy them. So yeah, guys, check out Indiana Jones and the Dinosaur Eggs.